I'm a car dealer, and this is my banger of the week. Right, so we love a bit of Land Rover content on this channel, especially one that's cheap, with ridiculously high mileage, and it's supercharged as well. I think that's fine. No way, reduced engine performance. So, a 2006 56 Range Rover Sport 4.2 litre V8. I think are they 390, well they were from factory, 390 horsepower, probably not all these years later. This car is, it's black, it's got some different wheels on it. It's got a few little issues straight away. As a car dealer, you're probably thinking, why, Calvin, have you bought this car? Why have you bothered messing around with this car? I reckon I might earn money out of this. When you find out what I paid for it, you might feel a little bit more confident in the fact that I might make a profit on it. But also, I'm a YouTuber. I've got to entertain people on YouTube. So when I get offered stuff like this, I think, do you know what? Regardless of whether I'm going to make money on my car trading side, it's going to be good for YouTube. It's going to make great content. So 217,461 miles. And if you look at the logbook on this car, yeah, which I've just done, it's got one former keeper. So I reckon this car has been loved. When these cars first come out, I remember I loved them. One of my friends from school, actually my brother's friend, Mark Davey from Luton, he sadly passed away in an Audi R8. He had a bad accident, terrible story, but he was a wonderful guy. He always had amazing cars. And every time I look at one of these cars, it reminds me of him. Back in the day when he had one of these, he had a V8 diesel. They sounded wicked. They were just a quality car. It was the first Range Rover Sport that was ever made. The ones before that were obviously just Range Rovers alone. They'd done the Sport, they'd done the Vogue. And the Sport was just a smaller, sort of more stocky version than the Vogue. And the fact that you can get a supercharged petrol one, I always thought that was cool. So I think what we need to do is, what else can we say about it? I think the Supercharged had perforated leather, Harman Kardon from factory. This car's also got a sunroof, which is pretty cool. Also in this car, it's got an aftermarket head unit, which is a bit random. It's also got heated seats. Has it got heated seats in the rear? Yes, it has got heated seats in the rear. That is wicked, man. It's got like controls there as well. Are they stereo controls? I like the little Land Rover badge on the door card there as well. Bit of wear on the seat, but considering this car's done over 200,000 miles, that ain't bad at all. They're just such a great shape and size. They're a comfortable thing to sit in. I just really like them. Centre armrest with a fridge. It's got a fridge. It's actually got a fridge. 2 glove boxes. Yes, it has got 2 glove boxes. I'm actually looking forward to driving this. We are going to do draggy times on this car as well to see how quickly it does 20 to 70 mile an hour. Standard stuff on this channel. Doesn't look like it's got any paperwork like history or anything. It's got instruction manual there for the stereo. What these things are known for is head gasket, yeah? Pop the bonnet, see if there's any cream in the cap. Hold on, it is there, isn't it? Yes, it is. Look at that. Completely clean, mate, completely clean. Even the water looks good. Water's nice and pink, so that's all good. Bloody hell, the engine's got oil in it and everything, look. Another issue these cars have is gearbox. Now, I'm certain I'm gonna find something wrong with this car. In fact, starting the engine, let's start it now, have a little listen. Sounds incredible, of course. Right, so yeah, it starts on the button, which is wicked. Let's give it a little rev. It's very slow to respond. That is not responding very well at all. It's like there's a delay in the throttle. But it has got an engine management light on the dash. It's also got some kind of headlight function light on the dash. It's got an ABS light, it's got an exclamation mark light, it's got a traction control light and handbrake light. That's because the handbrake's on. It's also got a fuel light as well, so there's definitely some issues with this car, and based on the way the throttle response is going, I would say that although I'd love to do draggy times in this car, I'm not sure it's going to be possible, but we will try, all right? So what we're going to do now, maybe do away that dash cam because that's going to get in the way, quickly fly through car vertical and talk about values. So I need to tell you how much I paid for this car, and then we're going to hit the road and do draggy times. Let's get on it. The Planet of Dreams logo conveniently in the background there. That actually isn't planned. In fact, look at the colour of the windows. They're sort of purpled out rather than blacked out. But yeah, that wasn't planned. That's like the photo wall for Planet of Dreams. By the way, if you want to be in for a chance of winning a car for nothing, you just head over to Planet of Dreams. We do giveaways every single Friday, live on Instagram at 3 p.m. Also, if you want to buy yourself a hashtag on it hoodie or woolly hat for cold days like today, all sorts of wonderful merch, head over to my website, calvinscardiary.com. You can see that up on my graffiti wall up there. I actually really, really like these cars. Did I say that? I've said that loads in this video. I like the dash layout of them. I know that sounds weird, but I remember when they first come out, it almost feels like, I don't know, it feels snug, the fact that they kind of wrap around you. And you've got to think back in 2006 when this car came out, it was unique. There wasn't anything as sort of luxurious and comfortable as a Range Rover. So it's got armrests as well. Individual armrest for both the driver and passenger. I always found it weird that the headrests in the back are really low. So if an adult sits in the back, you basically have the headrests on your lower back rather than on your head, which is where they're supposed to be. But that don't matter. Let's quickly pull up car vertical. Let's do the dreaded car vertical check. Surely this is going to have some background history because this car, it's old and it's done a lot of miles, but it has only got one owner from new. So it might be a gem, guys. It might be a gem. Big shout out to Car Vertical for sponsoring this video. I will link them in the description below. Make sure you use my code CCD to get a discount. They're giving 20% off with my code, so make sure you use that code. It's super important you do these checks. The two most important things when buying, not the most important, but two vital things that you can do before you even go to look at a car is one, a car vertical check, and two, a valuation. Once you've got a valuation and a car vertical check, you can get a good idea to what the car's worth and what the background history is on that car. So I highly recommend them. I will go through valuations as well shortly. So yeah, it's all good. It's not been clocked. I'm surprised it hasn't come up with a red marker to say what the bloody hell is going on with the mileage in this car. It's done over 200,000 miles, but that's all good. It's got no finance on it. It's apparently had no accident damage either. It's never been stolen. And you can see the timeline of the graph there for the mileage over the years. Wonder what point it done all them miles. It looks like it done 60,000 miles in the first 3 years. 20,000 miles a year, which is, I suppose it ain't, when you look at it like that, it ain't crazy, is it? But it is a large number, and it's quite surprising that it still works. Well, we're about to find out. Also on Car Vertical, you can see it'll give you an idea on values, market value there. An average price on such vehicle is 7.5 grand. So it gives you a rough idea on values, and it's got another valuation there. Lower price 5.5, and the higher price 9,758. So also on Car Vertical, if you scroll down even further, it's got a bit of details about the car there. It's got a timeline of events which just shows you when the car was registered back in January 2006, and then it's just got loads of data there to show. Look, it failed an MOT there back in 2014. Just loads of data talking about the car and its history. So really important you do that. Like I said, I will link them in the description below. Now let's have a look at Enter Reg, which is my own platform. If you're a car dealer and you're not on board, we're building a community of car dealers, loads of people on board, everyone loves it. If you're not on board, you need to get on it because it is bloody brilliant. In fact, I think what we're doing now is if you're a car dealer and you want a new website, we're doing a website for £1, and it all links to eBay and Auto Trade and all that sort of stuff. So if you're a car dealer, you want a website, every car dealer's got to have a website. You can't do much without a website, can you? Keys are stuck. Hashtag key check. We ain't done that for ages, have we? That's the key there. Look at that. Even that key was cool back in the day. Is it weird that I get excited about this sort of stuff? I love it. It's got multifunctional steering wheel as well. Check that out. Even the horn buttons are pretty cool, isn't they? I just like the fact that they're kind of like long and thin. Don't know why. What else was I going to? Something else? I don't know. Continuing on, anyway. Yeah, I was talking about Enter Reg, how wonderful Enter Reg is. It's a stock management system, it's a valuation system, it tells you history on your car, it does everything, it's brilliant. You need to get on it. So when I've done a valuation of this car and I saw it had one previous owner, I thought, no way has this car got one previous owner. And as mentioned, you see the logbook there, it actually has. And as you scroll down, you can see the MOT history there, so it's all good on the history. March 2024, so it's got a short MOT. Could do with an MOT, guys. Currently has one though, and in valuations, it's actually not showing us any valuations whatsoever because, well, we use CAP and Auto Trader, and basically as cars get so old or so many miles, then there is no such thing as an actual valuation for that car. So it's really difficult trying to get an idea of value from this car. Car Vertical did give us an idea, which is brilliant. But what I generally do with a car like this is I look on eBay and Auto Trader to see what's about. And if you look around, the cheapest one of these available at the minute is a non-runner, and it's 1,500 quid. So in theory, if this is a non-runner, which is so far it starts, I'm about to find out if it drives, it's worth at least 1,500 quid. And the price that I paid for this car, you ready for this? Drum roll. I paid £1,200 for it. £1,200 for a Range Rover Sport Supercharged. So that all sounds good, guys, but we're about to find out how good it is, because it really does depend on how well it drives. I think the cheapest running one of these on the internet at the minute is about £4,000, but it's done half the mileage. So I don't know. When I bought this car, I did also look on eBay as a breaker, because someone would probably buy this car as spares or repairs. The engines on eBay are about 1,500 quid. So the engine alone, £1,500. The rest of the car's got to be worth a few quid as well. I'm just trying to talk myself into the fact that it is worth buying. I'll find out in a minute if it's worth buying, yeah? Let's hit the road. Right, so I have just driven a few miles down to my little test route. I like to film my videos, and let's assess the current situation. So I now understand a bit more about the car. Let's just put it that way. So we've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights on the dash, and there is a 7th one that's flashing at me, which is interesting. There was an 8th light, which was the petrol light, but I've just been to the petrol station, which is, you know, it's got rid of one of the lights. And I've noticed the speedo doesn't work. Yeah, no speedo, not ideal. But we've got a draggy box, so that's going to tell us what our speed is. And I was just driving down the road, and there was a car behind me flashing like mad. But I can't work out why the car was flashing. Like, I've sort of tried to analyse and work it out. I can't work it out. What's wrong? What's actually wrong? Now, another common fault that these cars have is suspension. Engine, gearbox, suspension. They're all quite major sort of parts of a car. And I would say that this car's got something wrong with the rear suspension, because it's quite firm on the back. It ain't quite as firm as the old P38 that I done a video on years ago. But it is quite firm, and I've got a bad back, so it ain't the best combination. What I want to see now is, this is probably the most important thing, is I want to see if the supercharger works, all right? So currently on a nice little country lane, I'm going to sort of flat the throttle, and I want to hear the whine, and I also want to hope that it works, right? Ready? 3, 2, 1. It's actually quick. It's revving right out. Oh my God, the gearbox is fine as well. Into the little S-bend where the matey crashed the drag, just on the, over there, on that side of the road, on the wrong side of the road, and then around the other bend. So the suspension, you probably can't see it through the video. It's not that bad, it's just firm. Imagine a car on air ride, which this basically is, and the air basically being aired out. It's just quite solid. But that aside, engine and gearbox, considering the fact that we've got all these lights on the dash, it seems to be driving all right. Now, something I didn't mention, as I was at the petrol station, I was wandering around it, just having a little look over the outside of it, and it's got Hawk grills in the wings, which I think looks pretty cool. Would have been a massive thing back in the day. And I'm pretty sure the front bumper, is that an autobiography bumper? I'm not certain, but it looks quite cool from the front. It's even got like the square pipes at the back as well. It's just I know it's old, yeah, and I ain't trying to big it up too much, but this is the bumpy road, by the way. We're on the bumpy road. We ain't done this for ages. It's coping with it all right, yeah? My back ain't, though. Big puddle there. Little puddle test. Whee. Can't remember what I was saying now. Oh, I was talking about looks, attraction. It looks all right. It just looks all right, yeah? It's got sat-nav as well, which I think is pretty cool. Not very good sat-nav, I wouldn't imagine, but it does have it. What else has it got going for it? Parking sensors. It's got parking sensors, which is wonderful. 2 cup holders. Auto headlights. I think that would have been quite a big thing back in the day. And Bluetooth phone, which I mentioned briefly earlier as well. What's interesting about the Bluetooth, the little buttons on the steering wheel here, I think they're really cool. Let's just drop it down a little bit. Have a little feel for the power. I mean, I'm waiting for it to break down. Like, surely when we do draggy times, it's going to give up on us. Let's find out, yeah? 20 to 70 mile an hour draggy times. I want to see where it falls on the draggy leaderboards. We've done loads of cars in there. This car being 390 brake horsepower, not too sure what it's going to go up against, but it'd be interesting to see anyway. It probably weighs about 2 tons at a guess, so it's a big heavy car, but it has got quite a bit of power. Let's just give it a go. Let's see what happens. Now, annoyingly, my draggy box ain't working. I don't know what's going on with it. It's just saying low sats. Anyone that has a draggy box will know that that's quite a common thing with these things. I've had it years. It could be just broken. I don't know, but it's still saying it now, which is so frustrating. But I think you're getting the idea. It's actually driving all right anyway. It would have been cool to see how quickly it does 20 to 70 mile an hour, but it ain't looking like it's going to be possible. I'll keep looking down at my draggy box to see if it's going to work, but no, it's not looking like it's going to be possible. What I do want to say is, earlier on in the video I mentioned that the throttle response seems quite sort of slow. I think that's just the nature of the beast. That's just how they are. So it seems to be driving fine. I know it's got the engine management light on, but there doesn't actually seem to be anything wrong with the way this thing is delivering power. And because it's such a common engine, like they're in Jags, I think the XJR, the XKR, obviously in Range Rovers as well, and what else are they in? A few other cars, but they're a popular engine. They've got value. I'm sure there'll be someone out there that might want it for the engine. I don't know. I've got no idea what I'm going to do with it. But one thing I was thinking when I was driving this car is, still low stats, is I'd love to have met the person who's owned this car all these years. I think it changed owners in 2015. So someone's had it for like 8-9 years, plus someone else has had it for a similar amount of time as well. So it's done a couple of people really well. It seems to be, I'm sort of going up and down the gears, doing what I can to try and aggravate it, see if it breaks down or anything. But annoyingly, it hasn't broke down. I say annoyingly, I could actually do without breaking down. About to get done by transit. What else can I say? I think that's fine. Oh, reduced engine no way, reduced engine performance. Oh my God, it's gone into limp mode. Let me pull over. Can you believe it? This ain't gonna, I don't think it's gonna get me back. Right, luckily, we've got a lay-by. We've got a lay-by, engine off, engine back on. It's now saying transmission fault, HG system fault. It seems to be pulling all right now, but it does say reduced engine performance on the dash. Oh man. In fact, let's pull over here. Let's pull over here. It's just not happening. It's just not happening, is it? Yeah, I can see exactly where this video is going. I can see it now. I can see it right now. Let's flip that up around. There we go. There we go. Oh, we're getting raindrops on the lens now, aren't we? Yeah, currently on the side of the road with a V8 Supercharged Range Rover. I can see the title of this video now. I think it's going to be, I bought a high mileage Range Rover Sport Supercharged and it broke down. I bought a Range Rover for £150 and it broke down. Temperature needle's all right. It starts on the button now. Will it get me home? Special programs off. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Either way, I thought it wasn't going to break down, but it did bloody break down. Guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did like the video, do me a favour, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new, and if you're wondering what I'm going to be doing with this car now, I've got absolutely no idea, yeah? Since filming this video, I sold the Range Rover to some regular customers who not only love a project car, they also love a Land Rover. But I've not made a profit yet, because in return we've done a deal with a car that they owned, which was basically another broken Land Rover. Wish me luck for that one.